Majin Buu has arrived, and he's growing increasingly powerful. Thankfully, Shin showed up in the nick of time. But is it too late to stop the monster? We'll cover all that and more in the 7th part of What If Bardock Was the First Super Saiyan. Kakarot wakes up on the sacred world of Kai. He's calmed down now, and thanks to Raditz, he's alive. Though he tells his brother he didn't have to hit him so hard. Ruta regains consciousness too, and she kind of feels the same way. Garlic says they still have all their friends and family on Earth too. They can't be gone for too long. Buu's already making his way around destroying everything. Thankfully he's taking his time right now just to draw everybody out. But they all have someone on Earth that they worry about. Maybe they should bring Monaito here. It's going to be risky going back to Earth right now, but they have to at least get him. Because his Dragon Balls are inactive right now, but maybe if they get him here, he could reactivate Taranbo, which means they can kill Buu with no problems. They won't have to worry about killing Piccolo and deactivating his Shenron. Kakarot's not really too sure he likes that idea. Yeah, he wants to kill Buu, but it's not going to feel right killing Buu knowing that Piccolo, Bardock, Gine, and Nappa are all going to die in the process, but they have no choice. How are they supposed to get strong enough to fight Buu, though? Too bad for them if they had an extra Super Saiyan here, they would have an accidental Super Saiyan God, but nobody knows about that obviously. Otherwise, Goten and Trunks could help. They actually do have enough for the ritual. Granolah says that Monaito also can't defend himself like Piccolo can, so they should probably get him quick. Shin says it shouldn't take too long, so he and Granolah teleport to Earth, quickly grabbing Monaito and teleporting back. Buu instantly senses this and flies up to the lookout. He thinks he knows where they retreated to, but he's gonna wait here. He could join them on the sacred world of Kai, but this is more fun. Monaito's now safe, but he is mortified. Buu has already wiped out so much of Earth, and he's only been left on his own for a few minutes. But he does have his 2 inactive Dragon Balls on him, so he'll work on bringing Taranbo back just in case. Meanwhile, everyone's trying to grow stronger, and Shin has pointed them towards the Z-Sword. Kakarot's actually the one to pull it. In Super Saiyan 2, he has just enough power to free it. And since he was the one to pull it, he's the one who's actually going to be training with it. He trains with it for a little bit, and then eventually ends up breaking it thanks to having Shin help too. Well, there goes their last hope. Kakarot barely even got to swing the sword around. But this, of course, frees Elder Kai, who learns about the situation and decides to help out. He actually has 2 ideas for how they can get strong enough to fight Buu. One of them is awakening the potential of someone here, although there is an issue with that. They only have time for a ritual for 1 person, maybe 2. They don't know how much longer until Buu just destroys everything at once, especially since no one's there on Earth keeping him busy. Kakarot, Ruta, and Vegeta aren't really too keen on taking a shortcut in their power. Raditz is actually kind of up for it because it could let him catch up to the others. Granolah also volunteers too, and so does Garlic, especially because Elder Kai notes Garlic's great potential. Well, they're not going to have enough time for the 3 of them, especially someone like Garlic who might take longer. But Granolah does have one idea. They could use the time chamber on Earth. Sure, it means they're going to have to go back to Earth right now, but doing a ritual in the time chamber only takes a few minutes on the outside. The others can probably buy time against Buu. It is very dangerous, but it's their only option, and they all think this is the best course of action. Plus, with this, Elder Kai will be able to awaken 3 people at once. And he also does have a backup plan, explaining the Patara earrings to everyone, just in case they don't get enough power from this. 2 of the warriors can fuse, although it's going to be permanent, but that fusion is probably strong enough to handle Buu. So once more, they all teleport back to Earth, with Elder Kai immediately going to the time chamber with Garlic, Raditz, and Granolah. Buu senses them return and they immediately jump off the lookout. Kakarot, Ruta, and Vegeta hold Buu off on the surface. He's glad to see they're back, but he wonders where their friends are. He guesses it doesn't matter. Whatever tricks they have up their sleeve, it's not going to work against him. He's grown so powerful by now that they have no chance at winning. There's no way they can grow strong enough in that little bit of time. Kakarot says he's not so sure about that, but obviously he's not going to tell Buu their plan. These 3 start fighting, and with just 3 of them, it's probably going to be really hard to hold off Buu, but they only need to buy a few minutes, and they think they could do that. Buu is still toying around with them, and it's probably going to be a really painful few minutes, but they're going to do whatever it takes. The 3 of them all fight together in Super Saiyan 2, and it doesn't seem like they're going to be able to buy enough time. They last a few minutes against Buu, and he gets bored. He'll find the other fighters to make this more interesting, and he doesn't care if he has to tear this planet apart to do so. He'll kill these 3 as well. Maybe it'll draw them out. Buu rips off a few pieces of himself and throws it at each of the fighters, trying to restrain them, but the slices are cut in half midair. And then a disc of energy cuts right through Buu's torso. Had he been on guard, that attack would have done nothing to him, but he's been playing around this entire time and he didn't expect another fighter to join. When Kakarot sees this, he knows immediately who's there, but he doesn't think it's going to help much. It's Krillin. Buu repairs himself, but then he's kicked by somebody else. Mayris has arrived too. They need to help in any way they can. Krillin knows his power's probably not going to add too much, but he's not going to back down. And that's something Kakarot really admires about him. He thanks Krillin for showing up, but Kakarot says they just need another few minutes. Although Mayris does actually make a big difference, because even without showing his full power as an angel, he still is a very powerful addition to the group, and Kakarot notices this. He didn't know Mayris was that strong. and Vegeta's not really too surprised. He's seen him fight before. Vegeta's only the third strongest patrolman right now, surpassed by Granolah and Mayris. Even Boo's surprised. He tries to absorb Mayris too because, while the others don't have the power that interests him, he wants to see what Mayris is capable of, though he isn't able to absorb him. It's almost like Mayris' body moves on instinct. And he's hiding his full power, but still able to use Ultra Instinct like this. Not that anyone even knows what that is yet. And finally, they've done what they needed to. Garlic, Granolah, and Raditz all leave the time chamber. Raditz doesn't look much different than normal. Same for Granolah. He looks like he's just in his normal double red-eyed form. As for Garlic, his hair is standing up as if he's a Super Saiyan, but it's black. Each of them is now in their ultimate forms. For Granolah, this draws out the power of Super Cerulean while in ultimate. This really does turn the tide of the battle. Boo still surpasses everyone here, even with 3 ultimate fighters. But now with the combined power of everybody, they might actually be able to topple him. The issue is, it's still not enough to completely overwhelm him. So, Kakarot decides to go for the other plan. He hands a Patara earring to Ruta, placing one on his ear as she gets ready to place the other on hers. It is still really weird to think about though, because this should let them win, but they're going to be permanently fused. The 2 siblings are close, but they don't like the thought of being merged together forever. And just as she places her earring on, a full power blast from Boo cuts right through her torso. Boo's been toying with them this whole time, but now he's not playing any games. He knows he has to kill them off one by one, and he wants to show them how easy that is for him. And Ruta doesn't stand a chance against this blast. She falls to the ground, dying pretty much immediately. Raditz and Garlic feel an immense rage from this, and show off more power against Boo. But Kakarot has a bit of a different reaction. Next, Boo aims for Garlic, but Kakarot jumps back in the battle, basically blinded by his rage. His aura explodes, and something changes about his form. His hair grows out significantly. It looks like in the heat of the battle, he's ascended beyond Super Saiyan 2. They've never seen a form like this before, but this is Super Saiyan 3. And thanks to Kakarot still having his tail, there's no drawback with this form. But as he continues fighting, Raditz grabs onto Kakarot. He tells him to not succumb to his rage. Fight with clarity. Use that new power to its fullest. Don't let her death be in vain. And remember, they could still bring her back. Boo then stretches both of his arms out, grabbing onto Granolah and Raditz. Maybe he won't kill these 2. He'll absorb both of them instead. He spins his head around too, launching a mouth blast at Kakarot and Garlic, launching them halfway across the planet, keeping them both away for now. Working quickly, Vegeta tries to copy Krillin's technique, slicing off both of Boo's arms. And then he grabs onto Boo, flying up in the air. He tells Raditz and Kakarot they owe him for this. And they're not too sure what Vegeta's planning, but he's going to buy them some time with whatever way he can. If they don't win this battle, they're going to die anyway, so why not put his life on the line? Granolah tells Vegeta to not be stupid, but he's not being stupid. This will give him the time they need to do that earring thing. A brilliant glow surrounds Vegeta as he flies further up into the air, still holding on to Boo. Boo frees himself, but he turns over to Vegeta, who then explodes, self-destructing and unleashing all of his ki. This actually does some significant damage to Boo. Nothing he can't regenerate from, of course, but Vegeta didn't expect to kill Boo here. Raditz and Granolah can't believe it. He sacrificed himself just to buy them a little bit of extra time, and Raditz doesn't waste any of that time. Kakarot's back, and he isn't concerned about Vegeta. He knows he and Ruta will be brought back. And just as Boo fully regenerates, Raditz and Kakarot complete their fusion. Thank Vegeta. And Vegeta was right. If they're gonna die, why hold anything back? Use their full power. Merge together permanently if they need to. Boo flies back down towards the ground, aiming an attack right at the 2 brothers, but just as he gets close to the ground, they vanish, merging together and then appearing right in front of him, catching Boo by his antenna midair. Boo shouldn't be as cocky as he is. All of that power of his, that comes from their parents and Piccolo. So this guy's gonna have to make Boo pay for it. A key sword pierces through Boo, extending out far into the distance. Then it's drawn up, slicing him directly in half, and everyone gets a clear view of the fusion. A new fighter born from 2 brothers. This is Kakarot. And he doesn't look like he's using any transformation, but he is. He's an ultimate right now, drawing out the power of the newly awoken Super Saiyan 3, as well as Raditz's max power, of course. And with the 2 of them being brothers, they get a pretty nice boost from the fusion. It's incredibly compatible. Boo puts himself back together, but Kakarot grabs the 2 pieces of Boo, slamming them back together, discombobulating him. That's for Nappa. Then punching him in the head so hard that it takes Boo's head clean off. That's for Piccolo. Then grabbing onto his head and slamming it into his headless body. That's for their mother. His legs then surrounded by a ton of ki, kicking Boo up into the air. As Boo is launched into space, Kakarot then appears above him, delivering another kick and sending him down to the surface. That's for their father. Kakarot charges a blast in one hand. This is for Ruta. Then one in his other hand. This is for Vegeta. He then launches down towards the surface at full power, with the 2 ki blasts trailing behind him. He then draws both of his arms in front of him, performing his ultimate move. The Kakarot side of him wanted to use that one technique that he likes, merging it with a technique of Raditz's. This is a double Sunday Kamehameha. The remaining fighters watch on. A purple and a blue ki blast launch down from above, swirling together, completely incinerating Boo. Precise enough to not damage Earth either. The explosion knocks everybody away, but once the smoke clears, Kakarot is standing there in a crater, looking around to make sure nothing of Boo is left. And with Granolah's great vision, he confirms it. Boo is completely gone. Kakarot is glad about his victory, but even though he's going to be able to bring everyone back, he still feels kind of weird about it. Boo killed Ruta and caused Vegeta to self-destruct, but Kakarot technically was the one to kill the other 4. Also, Garlick's a bit confused too. Does this mean Kakarot is his dad and uncle at the same time now? Oh yeah, he forgot he's going to be fused together permanently. Monaito awaits on the lookout, and he's already reactivated Taranbo. He wishes to revive every good person killed by Boo today. And with Piccolo back, they're going to use his dragon to restore all the damage done by Boo, and he's upgraded his dragon to have extra wishes. Kakarot is still fused, and he's about to use another wish to unfuse him, but thankfully, Kakarot defuses on his own. Shin and Kibito are now present, and Elder Kai was on the lookout this entire time after coming to Earth. Oh, looks like the fusion isn't permanent, at least maybe for mortals. And Piccolo thanks Monaito for his help. He's glad he's still there as a mentor, and also looking out for him. And Krillin is kind of weirded out watching this because he knows of Piccolo, but he never got to know him really well, and it's strange seeing him act so kind and respectful after what Roshi told him about the Demon King. Granolah goes over to Vegeta and thanks him for what he did. He never would have expected Vegeta to put his life down on the line for him. But Vegeta tells him to shut up. It wasn't for Granolah. It was for everyone. And Granolah chuckles a bit. The patrol might have actually changed him. He's become a lot more selfless. Ruta hugs her 2 brothers and thanks them for winning the battle. And she apologizes for scaring them by dying. Though she does wonder how a fusion between her and Kakarot would work. How strong would it be? Also, what happens when a guy and a girl fuse? And Kakarot says he's not going to attempt that. He doesn't know why he and Raditz defused, but for all he knows it could have been a fluke, and he doesn't want to risk merging with anyone again. And Bardock and Gine are proud of their kids for solving this. Bardock is a little saddened though, because this is the first time in a while that he's lost a fight outright, and the fact that his power was actively used against them. But it's not like he could have known Boo's powers anyways. He just wishes he got a chance to fight that bastard, but whatever. At least his kids got some good experience out of it, even if his 2 sons had to kill him and Gine. He won't hold it against them. And then Raditz looks over at Maris. He notices the same weirdness that Kakarot did too. It's not like he senses anything different from him, but he still wonders why Maris was so powerful in that fight. And even when he was helping them, it seemed like he was still holding back. Maris didn't want to get actively involved. Even when just using his mortal powers, he was above anyone there. And Raditz noticed during the battle that Maris eventually fell back from the fight, just watching on instead. It's like he just came there to save them. And Maris notices Raditz observing him. Granolah also sees that Raditz is thinking the same thing he once did. Maris just smirks at them. He tells Raditz he's pretty keen, but leaves it at that, then boarding his ship and returning back to the patrol. Jock goes on the ship with him, glad that he didn't have to join that battle, but he would have if he needed to. Even though most of the crew died today, and most of the planet, it still ended in a victory. And on top of that, Raditz, Garlic, and Granolah have new powers, with Kakarot unlocking a new Super Saiyan form of his own. He shows it off to Bardock, who looks a little bit surprised. Oh, so Kakarot finally unlocked that. What does he mean finally? Bardock then shows off his own Super Saiyan 3. He hasn't had this for too long, like probably a year or so. But Kakarot then gets mad. He never showed him this and he's had it for a year? Well, he was going to use it against Boo, but then Boo absorbed him. He didn't expect that. No wonder Boo got so strong when he absorbed Bardock. Kakarot thought for once he'd be the strongest, but nope, Bardock is still on his level. Far away, a godly figure awakens. Beerus has awoken from his slumber. He was told that at this time, pretty much right after Boo was defeated, his rival would draw near. And he had a strange dream about something like that. Whis tells him about the Super Saiyan and how he escaped Frieza and eventually killed him. So that guy reawakened a legend. Maybe that's Beerus' rival. And with that, we'll leave off here for now. What'd you guys think about this part? What's going to happen next? Leave your thoughts and ideas in the comments below. I'd love to see what you guys think. As usual, be sure to drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. It really does help out the channel, and it shows me you want to see more videos like this. Anyways, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.